When was the last time you woke up with a boner? It was so hard that you couldn't even pee. Now, if you can't remember that, there's probably a high chance you're slowly heading towards a heart attack, erectile dysfunction, or metabolic syndrome. Because the number one sign of longevity for men is not cholesterol, it's not testosterone, it's not having shredded abs. It's your morning wood. And 90% of men are completely blind to this. You understand, morning wood is an involuntary system. It's a checking system that's gonna run every single night. And it's grading 3 of the most important systems that you have: your vascular health, your metabolic health, and of course, your hormones. When that system starts failing, this is one of the earliest predictors of damage that's never gonna show up on your cholesterol panel for years, or until it's too late. So in this video, I wanna break down exactly what your morning wood is really telling you, the 3 systems it's exposing before anything else, and the exact framework I use to bring it back at any age, guys. And no, I'm not talking about taking Cialis or Viagra just to mask this problem. Let's get into this. But first, in case you're new here, my name is Nicholas Trigili. I'm a former IB Pro bodybuilder and performance coach to thousands of men out in the world optimizing their hormones and their performance. Now, before we go any further, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. This video is for strictly educational purposes only. Make sure you always consult with a licensed practitioner before starting any protocol, any treatment. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into this topic. Number one thing you need to understand is why morning wood happens in the first place and why it happened so effortlessly for you as a teenager and in your 20s. Once you understand this, everything else in the video is going to click right into place for you. An erection is like a plumbing event. It's the best analogy I can think of. Because blood has to flow into the penis, because blood has to flow into the penile arteries fast, and it has to stay there. And the reason this matters more than almost anything else that you track is because how small those penile arteries actually are. Your coronary arteries, the ones that are feeding your heart, are about 3 to 4 millimeters wide. The arteries in your penis are about 1 to 2 millimeters wide, half the size, and for some of you guys, sometimes a third of the size. Sorry. When plaque starts building up in your blood vessels, this is when you have endothelium. This is the lining inside your arteries that starts to get damaged. Now, it doesn't hit every blood vessel in your body at the same time. It hits the smallest ones first, which is why the loss of the morning wood can show up 3 to 5 years before you actually have any cardiovascular problems. So when a guy tells me he starts waking up with morning wood and he brushes off as just getting older, what I'm actually hearing is this: his arteries are changing, but his heart just hasn't caught up to that story yet. It's exactly why relying on these cholesterol panels and medications and all the other crap is a big mistake. All cholesterol is gonna tell you is what's floating in your blood. It doesn't tell you what your smallest vessels are already dealing with every single day and night. So if your arteries are the pipes, what's controlling whether or not the blood gets to flow through them in the first place? That comes down to a single molecule that most men have never even heard of. Now, this molecule is nitric oxide. Now, once you understand what it does, you'll understand why your morning wood was so effortless at 19, 20, 25 years old, and why it's not anymore. Nitric oxide is your signal that tells your penile arteries to relax and open up. Think of it like this. Think of it as the switch that unlocks the pipe. Without it, the blood does not matter. You can have the healthiest arteries in the world and still not have the flow that you need. At 19, your body produces nitric oxide all the time, effortlessly. I mean, for most people, not everybody, but almost everybody. And that production is not something that you're just born with and that you get to keep forever. It's directly tied to one thing that most men never connect to their sex drive and morning wood. Insulin, you guessed it, resistance. Every time your blood sugar spikes and stays elevated in your blood pumps out more insulin and your body has to do something with that. You do that enough times, day after day, month after month, year after year, your cells stop responding the way they should be. That is called insulin resistance 101. And insulin resistance directly damages the same endothelium we're talking about here, the lining inside your arteries, which is responsible for producing the nitric oxide in the first place. Make sense? I hope so. So now you got 2 problems stacking on top of each other. Smaller arteries that are more sensitive to damage in the first place, and a metabolic environment that's actively shutting down the one molecule that opens them up. This is why a lot of the guys who look fine on the outside still have no morning wood. You don't need to be overweight for this to be happening. You just need your blood sugar running high enough, often enough, and long enough. And if your endothelium is just damaged too much to produce the nitric oxide down there, it's too damaged to produce it anywhere else in your body. Your heart, your brain, every organ that depends on healthy blood flow. Everything. Regular morning wood is proof that your metabolic signaling is still good and still good enough to make that switch. But there's one more thing I gotta add to this. And it's probably overlooked more than anything. We gotta talk about your nervous system. Your nervous system runs on two settings, and I'll tell you how this decides whether or not you get a boner in the morning or not. Sympathetic nervous system. Let's talk about it. That's your fight or flight mode. Stress, danger, deadlines, doom scrolling at 2, 3 a.m., your alarm going off, all that shit. Parasympathetic mode. That's your rest and digest mode. Recovery, repair, replenish, restore. And it's the only setting that your body allows an erection to happen under. If your body thinks you're in danger, even a tiny little bit, the blood's gonna get pulled away from these non-essential areas and sent to your muscles so you can run or you can fight. Throw those punches, boys. As far as your nervous system goes, an erection is about non-essential as it gets. As far as your nervous system goes, an erection is about as non-essential as it gets when you're supposedly under threat. So during your REM sleep, when your sympathetic nervous system finally quiets down and the parasympathetic system takes over, that's the window, gentlemen. That's the window to strike. Your body is finally feeling like, I'm safe to let that blood flow somewhere else other than my muscles. This is where the cortisol comes in now. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone and is a direct opposite of what parasympathetic recovery does and needs. When cortisol is super elevated, your body never fully drops into that rest and digest state. Not even when you're sleeping. You might be unconscious, might be closing your eyes, laying in bed for 8 hours, but your nervous system is still running on that fight or flight mode in the background subconsciously. You don't even know it's happening. And this is the part that's always getting missed. You don't need to have a stressful life for this to be happening. Poor sleep alone is gonna raise your cortisol. Alcohol raises your cortisol. Overtraining, gentlemen, raises your cortisol. Strict dieting for too long raises your cortisol. Even scrolling on your phone every single night before bed because you're keeping your system stuck in this low-grade version of fight or flight that never switches off. So now we got that out of the way, let's talk about what's actually required for you to have some morning wood. Your arteries have to be clean enough to carry the blood. Your endothelium has to be healthy enough to produce the nitric oxide that opens them up. And your nervous system has to be fully relaxed and long enough during REM for your sleep to happen. 3 systems. All of them have to be working. And even if one of them is compromised, guess what disappears first? Yeah, the wood. Long before anything else is gonna show up on your blood panels. This is why in the beginning of this video, I mentioned that morning wood is not about testosterone. Testosterone gives you that capacity, the baseline, the foundation, but capacity means nothing if your vessels are damaged and your metabolic health is complete shit. Or let's talk about your nervous system. It's never relaxing enough for you to use it. So now you know what's actually breaking it down. Here is the exact framework I use with my clients, myself multiple times to bring all 3 of these systems back online for you. Let's say starting right fucking now. We're covering this in 2 parts though. First, we're gonna talk about your lifestyle. Then we're gonna move into the stacks for restoring your libido and the morning wood and of course your metabolic health. Now before we go any further, just remember, none of what I'm about to cover in part 2 here works if these foundations are not in place first. Don't even waste your time. Because I see guys all the time try to take shortcuts straight to the stack and they wonder why they're not getting their morning wood back. It's because your building is built on a cracked foundation that's crumbling to the ground. So let's fix your foundation first, gentlemen. Let's start with your cardiovascular health. Remember, this is about blood flow into vessels that are half the size of your coronary arteries. So anything that improves your circulation and brings inflammation down moves the needle here right away. And the first and most important thing, zone 2 cardio. At least 3 to 4 times a week, minimum 30 minutes, guys. You can do this. I don't want you doing max all out zone 4, 5 cardio, hit cardio. It's all the pace you need so you can hold the conversation, but it's not too easy. Now, this is what improves the endothelial function over time. The same lining, we'll say it again, that's responsible for the nitric oxide. Limit your training sessions now to max 4 times a week. Intense though, 45 minutes max. Cut the seed oils out, gentlemen. Get the processed foods out of your diet. Get them out as close to zero as you could possibly get. These are some of the biggest drivers of the oxidative stress that damages your endothelium in the first place. You gotta make sure you're adding omega-3s in, so you get that from wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, tons of fish out there. Have it 2 to 3, 4 times a week if you can. If you're not eating fish regularly, you need to be taking a high-quality fish oil that fills that gap for you. And this directly supports the vessel lining that you're trying to repair. Let's talk about nattokinins. Let's talk about vitamin K2, especially if you're on TRT. This is gonna support your blood viscosity and give you that arterial flexibility. I know it's a big fancy word for saying healthy. And magnesium glycinate and L-theanine before bed. That's gonna lower your nervous system, bring it down, calm it down. Now, most men are very deficient in magnesium, and magnesium plays one of the biggest roles in nitric oxide and helping your nervous system actually drop into that parasympathetic state. I can tell you firsthand, guys, I use magnesium all the time. If you're on TRT, there's an extra variable that's working against you, and you guys have no idea what this is. Probably not. Hematocrat. TRT is probably going to thicken your blood over time if you stay on it long enough. And thicker blood moving through your vessels that are already half the size of your coronary arteries is a massive hit to this mechanism that we've been talking about this entire video. Let's talk about if your hematocrat's getting too high and it's creeping up and no one's talked about how to fix it. That alone is going to be quietly killing your morning woods, regardless of how good or clean your diet is. Now let's move to the second foundation, the metabolic change. Remember, insulin resistance is directly damaging the same endothelium that's responsible for reducing the nitric oxide, and this little thing's gonna open up your vessels. Now, to improve your metabolic health, lower inflammation, and bring the body fat down, I want you to make some very simple changes. Follow along here. You probably heard this a million times, but you're not doing it, obviously. That's why you're here. Eat 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body mass, not total weight. Every single day, consistency wins every time. Now, to make sure you hit this target, I always aim for double. And you're probably not gonna hit it anyway, which is exactly where you wanna be anyway. Now, when you guys go eat your meals, eat your protein first, eat your fiber second, eat your carbs last. Why? Because this will help your post-meal blood sugar spikes significantly. And less of a spike means less insulin damage to your vessels over time. And you need every inch we can get here. Make sure you're doing 10 to 15 minutes of walking after every meal that you have carbs. This is gonna put the glucose out of your bloodstream into your muscles without needing the insulin to do all that work. And please, for the love of God, stop eating within 2 to 3 hours before bed. Primarily, probably shoot for 3. Your body needs low insulin during your REM sleep to prioritize repair and not be worrying about breaking down and digesting your food. Now, if you're watching this and you're tired of guessing and trying to figure this out on your own, and you'd rather have myself and my team build you a personalized plan around your hormones, your metabolic health, your recovery, all these things we're talking about here, there's a link in the description right up top. Apply to join my coaching program. Now, let's get back to this. Lastly, we have your nervous system. This is one of the main ones that most of you guys are gonna skip, and you're probably still gonna skip it regardless of what I tell you. It's the same one that's silently keeping you stuck in the fight or flight mode, even when you're sleeping. Get morning sunlight when you first get up. The first 10 minutes is so important. Not at 3 in the afternoon. Try to get early morning sunlight. This is what tells your internal clock that the day has started, AKA your circadian rhythm. It starts pulling your cortisol down from its natural morning peak instead of letting it just run wild wherever it wants. Put your phone away when you get up, at least for an hour. Just stay away from it. The doom scrolling is gonna keep your sympathetic nervous system firing away, when in reality, it needs to be winding down. And this is not forever, gentlemen. This is until you fix the problem. Remember, fix the problem, then move on. Make sure you do 2 minutes of slow breathing before bed. 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. I'm not gonna do it now, I'm gonna waste time. This is gonna physically shift your body into parasympathetic mode before your head is even on that pillow. And gentlemen, it makes a massive difference doing these breathing techniques. It's the most impactful thing I've ever done to my nervous system. Now, if you do these simple things, you're gonna already start seeing how your mornings are gonna come back to what they used to be within 2 to 3 weeks. But if you wanna accelerate this and hit all these 3 systems really hard, that's exactly where the stacks are gonna come into play, your favorite part. If your metabolic health needs more than just a diet and walking, this is where retatrutide, MOTS-C, SS31 is gonna come play ball with you. Because Reta directly improves your insulin sensitivity and drives the fat loss, including getting rid of the visceral fat that's contributing to the inflammation problem in the first place and damaging your endothelium. MOTS-C is very different. It's a mitochondrial peptide. It activates something called AMPK, which is the same pathway that exercise is going to activate. And it directly improves how your cells are going to respond to insulin. Think of it like this. It's making your metabolic health run cleaner from the inside. And SS31 is amazing for your mitochondria. It's going to directly impact that. It's going to reduce the oxidative stress that we've been talking about. It's been damaging your endothelium this entire conversation. Remember, less oxidative damage means a healthier blood vessel lining, which means more nitric oxide production for your body. Well, on command. Now that you got your nervous system dialed in, but you still want that little extra kick, because we all want more. PT141. This doesn't work on blood flow like Cialis, Viagra. It works here, right here, this big brain. It activates something called the melanocortin receptors, actually. This is your hypothalamus. It's the exact area that's responsible for your sexual arousal, which is why it works even in cases where vascular and hormonal issues have already been addressed and there's something still missing out of this man's life. It's the only compound on this list that directly targets your desire instead of the plumbing in the pipes that we talked about. If your testosterone is, let's say, low, and you're in your 30s, 50s, 60s, 40s, whatever, TRT has got to be on the table, non-negotiable. It is one of the best health decisions you can make as a man in your life. Remember, testosterone is going to give you that capacity for this all to work together. Optimizing it properly with the blood work is absolutely necessary. You have to monitor these things. You can't just take it blindly. And the last combo I want to add, two of my best friends, BBC 157, TB 500. These are not just for your tendons. They're not just for healing. Not for when you break something, get surgery. And I know that's what you guys all know them for, because BBC is specifically going to target angiogenesis. What does that mean? It's creating new blood vessels. And it works directly alongside your nitric oxide system, which is correcting your vascular issues, and it's balancing your endothelium, and it's upregulating VGF, which is what drives the repair of those microvessels. Now let's talk about my boy, TB 500. This is gonna work directly with BPC, supporting the same tissue and vascular tissue to repair all these systems. Now, when you got all your boys together, you know what happens. Magic, right? All right, there you guys have it. I gave you everything. I got nothing left. You guys took my shirt, my hat. This is the exact 3 systems that are gonna help your morning wood every single night. And the protocol, they bring them back all to life. But here's the thing. Everything in this video we covered, the vascular damage, the insulin resistance, the endothelial dysfunction, it all traces back to one thing driving most of your problems underneath it. Visceral fat, baby. It's actively pumping inflammatory signals that damage your endothelium, that make your insulin resistance worse, and of course gonna elevate cortisol. If you're carrying around tons of visceral fat, and you want to know exactly how to target and eliminate this using the same framework that I use with all my private clients, you guys have to watch this video next. You have to. Don't click off of it. Go watch it. And if you got value from this breakdown, hit subscribe. Drop a comment. I will reply to you if you guys write something intelligent. I promise. You go look at my comments. I reply to everybody. I'll see you guys in the next video.